Today I want to introduce you to the world of jam making, and I wanted to incorporate some of my favourite ingredients, which are herbs. So we're going to be making a herbal jam. As far as I've been told, in America a jelly is a very clear and smooth type of jam, and a jam tends to have lots of fruit and is quite lumpy. In England we refer to both as a jam. Anything that uses pectin, whether it's a clear smooth jam or jelly jam, or a something with like lumpy bits like fruit and things, then that's a jam as well. Our definition of jelly is a product that is much more watered down, and we tend to filler it with gelatin rather than pectin. And the jelly tends to be more of a dessert than a condiment like jam is, where you would like apply it to things you would put on pancakes or bread, something like that. So that's just a little bit of our differences. So we're going to be making a jam slash jelly today. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about herbs, because you can't just go out and grab any old herb or plant and then expect to be able to eat it. Not all herbs are edible, and you need to do a lot of thorough research to make sure the herbs that you choose are. Now, I work with herbs day in, day out, so I can assure you that these are safe. However, I would always suggest that you do your own research and you use more than one source of information. No matter how professional that source may be, you should always rely on more than one person's ideal before making your decision, because there are a lot of toxic herbs out there, there are a lot of poisonous plants out there, and you don't want to do yourself or your family or friends or anyone you may sell this jam to any harm. Now, I'm going to be using 3 kinds of herbs in this jam. One of them is some freshly picked dandelion. A little tip with the dandelion is only use the heads. The rest of the herb is used as a bitter medicine. So if you get any stalks or leaves or anything into your jam, it's going to taste quite bitter. So if you don't want a bitter jam, I highly suggest that you just pick the flowers. The dandelion flowers themselves don't have as much nutrition in them as the rest of the plant. So these are mostly picked just to make the jam a really beautiful sunshine yellow golden colour. The next herb I'm going to be using is Calendula, and some of you may know it as marigold. It's a beautiful golden flower, and again we're using the flower heads. And Calendula is great for sore throat. It's a great sort of soother, pain reliever. It helps with muscle spasms. Overall, it's just really great for your body. You can use dry herbs or fresh herbs. The benefit of using the dry herbs is that you actually can use a lot less of them. You can get a lot more of the compound out of these particular dry herbs when you infuse them, and that's why a lot of people use dry herbs in tea, like herbal tea. The first plant I'm going to use is chamomile. We've got some lovely beautiful dried chamomile here. Now, we know that kids love jam, and chamomile is a wonderful child safe soothing herb, and it's very calming for everybody. So we're going to pop some of that into our jam today. So that's 3 beautiful sunshine coloured flowers and herbs that are going to make our jam really sparkle, and it's going to have those lovely healing properties as well. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to get the compounds out of those plants. Now, the best way to do that is to make an infusion. Now, right here I have a standard corked jar, and it's about 1,000 millilitres. And what we need to do is we need to infuse the herbs in order to extract those compounds. Now, you need to do this 24 hours before you make your jam, because we want to leave this overnight in the fridge, and that will help to get as much of those compounds out as possible. Now, for simple parts of plants like the herbs and the flowers, we can just use a hot water infusion. But if you're using like roots or bark or more tougher parts of the herb, then you will need to make a decoction, which is boiling the herbs in order to get those compounds out. Today, like I said, we're just going to be doing a really simple infusion to get them out, and then we'll be leaving them overnight. So how we do this is we want to fill this jar until it's about half full of our lovely herbs, and then we just pour hot water over it. and then we leave it in the fridge overnight. And I'm just gonna make that up really quickly for you now to show you. So don't forget to wash your fresh herbs. That's really, really important because you don't want any bugs in your jam. It's a really great way to use the seasonal wildflowers as well, because they're not going to be around for long, and we'll be canning this jam so that we will be able to use it in years to come. You're next with the dried herbs and the calendula that I'm putting the whole flower heads in, and they will contain seeds, but don't worry because we'll be straining this so that they don't come out in your jam. How pretty does that look with the dandelion and the calendula? So this is just over half full, but obviously if it was compacted it would be a lot less. So this is about how much I've put into my quart jar. And I'm just going to top it up with boiling water, then I'm going to wait until it's cooled down, and then I'm going to pop the lid on it. Okay, so I've just filled my jar up with hot water. I just poured it straight on top of the plants, and I completely filled it right up to the top. And it smells amazing. Oh my god. What you want to do, you can already see how yellow it is. Look, can you see? And that's only going to get more brighter, that yellow. So what you want to do now is you want to give it a little stir. I'm just going to use a butter knife. You can use a spoon, but I find the knife kind of gets in there a bit more. And I'm going to give it a really, really good mix and try and mix up those plants so they're not sat in layers, and so that itself will release some compounds. And then you want to make sure that you leave it to completely cool down before you put a lid on. Once you pop your lid on, you need to pop it in the fridge for 24 hours. I'm just going to skip forward a little bit so you can see how to incorporate it into your jam. Don't forget you can pause the video and go back anytime. You can rewatch it when your herbal infusion has been sat in the fridge for 24 hours, and then you can go and make your own. I really hope that you enjoy this video, and let me know if you have any questions. If you want to see more videos like this, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I shall see you in another video.